in a group chat
She goes
with
on.
children. They're called the weenies.
She goes, Adam, do you need questions for your Q&A? When my friends would be like, you know, what's your opinion on Mariah's new song or something? So she goes, are you a virgin?
If you're in the Colleen Ballinger fandom, you know
like
about this group chat. She's also asking...
And she asked me what my favorite position is. Now, if that doesn't validate any of the stories that she would be talking openly about her ex-husband to me, then I don't know what will. Or speaking about, you know, with her, you know, boyfriend at the time whenever she was on her Hawaii trip. I don't know what will. That literally in a group chat of a lot of people, she was asking me questions about my life at 15.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I know I'm extremely late to this. Truth be told, I have just kind of been watching things unravel. I've had quite a lot of stuff going on in my own personal life as normal, so I've just been a little bit late to it. Basically, Colleen Ballinger, aka Miranda Sings, which is like her stage character, she has been accused of grooming underage fans, setting up group chats, you know, bearing in mind she was in her 30s and she still is in her 30s, you know, 30-year-old woman setting up group chats and just chatting really inappropriately with minors, you know, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds. And this has all come to light basically about 3 years ago. Adam McIntyre came out and he was like, he said all this stuff, he told everyone, he was very much just like, you know, there is a problem here. No one believed him, everyone went after him, and only now are people starting to like speak out and be like, no, actually I was in that chat, or I was sent these messages, that didn't happen. And to me, I do kind of side-eye the whole thing, because I feel like, bearing in mind, I don't know all of these people very individually extremely well. I was never a huge Colleen fan. In fact, I've only ever covered her family once before, because someone in her family was basically had this little playlist where they were saving loads of like pregnancy fetish things, and I was like, that is weird, because he's pretty sure he was like a granddad, and I thought it was blimmin' strange. And from then on, I've just always had a bit of a bad feeling about just the fact, I don't know, I had bad juju about it. So when this came out, I will be completely honest, I wasn't overly very surprised, mostly because I saw the Adam thing ages ago when it happened, and also I've been following the Colleen Ballinger, you know, subreddit for ages because I find it so interesting. And after watching this unfold, I won't lie, I do kind of feel as if some people have been sitting on information that could have proved that Adam wasn't lying, and could have, you know what I mean, like that the lady, is it Corey Rants? I'd never heard of her before. She basically did this, it's actually showing in the shot that I'm playing to you right now. But basically, she had all this information and she could have come out and said something earlier. And I'm just a little bit confused. I feel like it was a lot more to this story than we know, or even that Adam knows, or that just anyone knows. I feel like a lot of people have been sitting on a lot of information about the way that Colleen and her sort of entourage, you know, adults, bear this in mind, adults, 30-year-old adults, have spoken and dealt with their fans. And that is that whole argument over like why. I just don't get it. I feel like you're either extremely emotionally, and I will sound quite rude here, I feel like she either outright knows that she is grooming these people, she's grooming her fans, she's grooming people, and like just being wildly inappropriate, and that not only that, there have been other cases where they have then been treating people extremely poorly whilst on tour. There's quite a lot of different allegations flying around, and either they're all just like the older people are just emotionally stunted at the age of like 15 or whatever, where they think that's appropriate, or it is just downright grooming behaviour. I feel like I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I do just feel like the more allegations that are coming out, the worse it's looking, and it makes me feel really icky, because she does have, I think she has 3 kids. I know she has a little family channel. Come across it before because I've actually been asked, can you please go and cover Colleen? And that's the reason why I've joined the subreddit, because I was like, okay. And then there was just so much to unpack. I was like, oh god, this is just too much, you know. So if you don't already know, I cover family channels, mummy vloggers, those sorts of people. So this is the reason why I even really know what's happening, or know of kind of what's happening. The allegations made towards Colleen are pretty wild. There have been messages that have been shown around where she's literally asking, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, what's your favorite sex position, and are you a virgin? There's been a lot of hubbub as well, where Adam has actually turned around and said, she used to talk to me about, her sex life with her ex-husband and her current husband, and basically used to like trauma dump on them. It sounds like Colleen used to literally treat these children as if they were her best friends, but bear this in mind, she was 30, they were children. Like, it's so wild. And to now think that she has 3 kids and she's got a whole little family channel going on, I just think the whole thing's ridiculous. Anyway, so shortly after, there was this other guy called Johnny, who I'll show you to him right now. There he is. He basically came out and he was saying how he had a massive falling out with Colleen's basically like right-hand man in all of this, Corey. I don't know individually all of them because I was never a huge Colleen fan, so you have to excuse my ignorance. But basically, in a nutshell, he was saying how he was basically screamed and shouted at from the high heavens because it's something to do with a room. And he was then, banned from ever having his room for the rest of the show, rest of the summer. They took away his room rights and wouldn't give him a whole room for the whole of the summer, bearing in mind he was really, really young and he was touring around with Colleen, and Colleen knew about this. And did she do anything? No. And it just seems like this is the way that she treats her followers and her fans.
The experience unfortunately just got worse, and there are so many stories that unfold, but that's when things started to get really bad, was that instance. It took away my room rights. I wasn't able to shower in hotel rooms. I had to wait till we got to the venues, until family members like Colleen's parents and Rachel came on tour. They were my safety net. They allowed me to use their showers, hang out in their rooms on days off, because I was completely blacklisted unless I went into our sound guy and lighting and tour assistants hotel room, and it was 3 of them sharing one. It just wasn't realistic. The whole premise of it, I was 22 years old. This was the first time I was living away from home. I was living on a bus, overworked, underpaid, and I couldn't even have the decency of sleeping in a bed or showering in a private unit for an entire summer.
And what I do feel so bad, the one of the things that I do notice about these two people's stories is that there's definite parallels to do with what they're saying. The gaslighting, the sort of, love bombing you, making you feel a part of a group, making you feel like you're special, you're wanted, and then discarding you, or actually your actions are doing the complete opposite, if you see what I mean. So as soon as you're not kind of worthy to them anymore, you're discarded, the love bombing will stop. And it's extremely sad, because I'll be completely honest, when Johnny was going on about, how he felt gaslit, and the family and everyone was saying one thing, saying, we're just so proud of you, well done for standing up for yourself, blah, 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 blah. And then in the next token, they're doing that to them, they're making them feel like that, similar to probably what Adam was experiencing, where he felt part of a group, he felt a part of the thing, but then he was then, essentially being groomed by Colleen. Essentially, some of the stuff that she was saying to him, her actions and her words didn't match up.
I'd constantly be told that I was right, and that, I get counseled through these situations. I'm so proud of you for sticking up for yourself. All this fabricated nonsense. It was just love bombing, feeding my ego to make me believe that I was valued and appreciated, respected. But those were all just words. The actions proved otherwise. I was constantly told, I'm proud of you. I actually, I know you're telling the truth, but I'm going to enable this person in my life to continue treating you this way.
These are children. And one of the things that
And by the way, I didn't even include that in my video, because in my video, the only reason I made my video was just because I felt that I lost a friend and I wanted to focus on that. There was so much that I never said. There was so much that I never, even still to this day, because I didn't want my video to be about that. I didn't want to focus on that. I didn't want to talk about these conversations she had with me because I was just happy she was talking to me.
Now, as I've already said before, their subreddit is an absolute joy to look at because there's just so much information over there and it's growing fast. It's growing so quickly. What I will say is that she's on tour, and from the sounds of what other people are saying, she already had all of this like cancelled merch or whatever. She had it from previous tours or previous merch releases, whatever it may be. Maybe from even potentially nearly being cancelled 3 years ago. There are also quite a lot of pictures circulating of the sort of empty tour rooms, like theatre rooms that she has. This is what Adam said. So COLLEEN Ballinger's show tonight that she's doing while a week into being called out and not addressing any of the scandal against her and her family is centred around being cancelled and is selling merchandise about being cancelled. Actually, F whatever statement or apology you are planning, your evil motives are clear that you hate your fans. And what I will say is, after learning that she already had this merch, I think it makes it even worse. So it's not as if she like ran out and made this like merchandise. She already had it, and she made that conscious decision that this would be funny. But the thing is, these are really big allegations. And Adam, for example, was dragged left, right and centre by all of her fans, her little fandom, just a lot of the internet. And for some reason, not like extremely, very, very, very few people were jumping to his defence. In fact, people are now still kind of making videos about it. And after seeing the text and after there being, you know, a bit of a weird theme, I will be honest, there's a bit of a weird theme going on in that family, and you only have to go on the Reddit thread for you to realise, you're like, oh, this is a little bit strange. And she's making a weird mockery out of it, and that's just something I just do not understand. Anyway, it gets worse. People are now commenting on her husband. I don't know if all the kids are with him. I don't think they are. I think the twins are just with him, and then she has one with her ex-husband, something about that. Anyway, don't come for me. People are actually commenting and, you know, saying all this and that to her husband, saying how does it like get your kids away from her, she's a child groomer, etc, etc. Like, she cannot hide from this. She decided to use that cancelled merchandise because she knew it would get people talking about her, and she still hasn't made a public statement about any of this. Okay, I'll read out just one of them, maybe a couple, because it's quite a few. As a mother myself, I don't doubt that she loves her children. I'm sure she does, but that doesn't mean she doesn't exploit them for money, and it doesn't mean she didn't do disgusting, harmful things to these people who were children in her fandom. You can love your children but still be a bad person. What she's done is disgusting. It is sad that her poor babies will one day know what their mum did, and I believe if there's ever a time COLLEEN will feel guilty, it will be then. But that is what happens when you intentionally do harm. And I get what this person's saying. She does actually, as well as all of this stuff that's coming out, she does also exploit her children online quite a lot. I get this idea, aside from the whole grooming allegations thing, I just think she's a bit mentally stunted. And I'm sorry if that offends some people, but I just feel she's a bit mentally stunted. She doesn't act her own age, even on her vlogs. Like, some people, she stands by this idea that it's because she has ADHD that she's like that erratic. I watched one of her latest videos, and I feel like that can only be an excuse. That cannot be an excuse for grooming children. So if she dare come on and she's just like, oh well, I had these problems and and I just didn't realize because, you know, ADHD, brain, blah blah blah. If she does that, I'm literally gonna be like, big side eye, massive side eye woman, because I feel like even the description for her YouTube channel is very childlike. Like, she reminds me of a child in an adult's body. Does this make any sense? And most of the other comments consist of, shouldn't be allowed near children, your wife is a child predator, start googling her Reddit thread, she's been hiding this from you, predator, protect your children, etc, etc. Now, obviously the internet now is absolutely outraged, and the thing that I really can't get my head around, what I really, really can't get my head around, is why on God's green earth is she out here having group chats with like 13, 14-year-olds? This is the thing. I just don't understand. Who, why, what, where, how do you need or want to be in group chats with your fans? Also, I hear about on the grapevine that, because COLLEEN's been accused in the past of, you know, being a bit sexually explicit with some of her content. I could not give you examples, but I definitely heard this at some point. Please let me know down below, but I've definitely heard of this being a bit of a thing. And then her fans will then come on and be like, well, her content's not aimed at children. And I'm like, yeah, but then explain the group chat with the kids. The thing is that because she's so big and she's actually friends with quite a lot of, like, you know, big celebrities and stuff, she's going to be idolized by so many young people. So many young people are going to be idolizing her. And that is like a groomer's paradise. You get me? It's abusing the power system. It's abusing the power imbalance between a fan and a creator. And that is ultra sad to see. And it's sad to see that it's happened. And maybe they just got completely lost. Maybe on one hand, they just got completely lost in their own ego. They were so power, money hungry driven. They just didn't even realize what's right or wrong anymore. That could be true. Or the other side could be true, where they were just out here straight up trying to groom children, which obviously you don't want to think about. Or at the very least, making kids feel extremely uncomfortable. The way that it's been left right now, Adam McIntyre is still going and doing quite a lot of dissecting of what other people have said. He's coming after people that are quite close to COLLEEN. There's been a lot of backstabbing and things within the community. And yeah, I would definitely go and urge you guys, if you actually want to keep in the loop with this, to go and have a little look with that. I will, of course, be here. I will be here when she eventually comes back and she makes a statement, because I have been quite interested in following this. I do massively apologise that I'm not the be-all and queen-all of all this knowledge. Like I say, I was never a massive COLLEEN fan, ever back in the day. But it's interesting and, you know, shocking to see that this is still happening on YouTube. And do you know what I mean? I think it needs to be called out. She better give a good enough, well, there is no excuse you could possibly give to make this get any better. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.